economics, we study the concept of sustainable development, which says that we have to utilize our resources in such a manner that it left some resources or most of the resources for future generation. We do not have to use all the resources for ourselves. We do not have to use the resources in such a way that they gets destroyed. We do not have to pollute the environment so much that our future generations will not be able to live. So if we want our legacy to live on, we all need to follow sustainable development. So his definition was futuristic, that means his focus was on sustainable development also. And the last point, it includes all the economic activities, whether these economic activities are being performed by people who live in society or who live outside the society, whether these activities are materialistic or non-materialistic. We say that American people or westernized countries, they are materialistic people. That materialistic people means they put more focus on goods. They put more focus on having so many facilities, so much of infrastructure, having cars, houses, mobile phones, television, AC, refrigerator, having all this facility. So that is materialistic. The things which we can touch, which we can see, are material. The things or the services which we cannot see, which we can just feel, are non-material things. So he focuses on material as well as non-material thing, as well as he considered the activities whether they give rise to welfare or not. So by his definition, he has considered most of the economic activities which constitutes the study of economics. So his definition is by far considered as one of the best definitions so far available. Now his definition has not so far been criticized by many people, and not much concrete criticisms are available. So here definitions given by all the four economists are over. Now we will have some summary, some overview of whatever we have studied so far. So we have studied first the definition given by Adam Smith, which was actually given in 1776. And Adam Smith says economics is an inquiry into the nature and causes of wealth of nation. So his main focus was on study of wealth, and that is the reason his definition was considered as wealth oriented definition. After Adam Smith came Alfred Marshall. Alfred Marshall said that study of wealth is important, but study of man is much more important, and he focused on those economic activities which gives rise to welfare, which makes life of people better. Yeah, he doesn't consider the economic activities which doesn't give rise to welfare, but his definition, since he focused more on welfare of people, his definition is known as welfare oriented definition. The third came Professor Lionel Robbins. He said that people have unlimited wants. The resources which they have to satisfy these unlimited wants are limited, and the resources can be put to alternative uses. So he posed a problem of choice. He gave his definition as economics is a science of choice, and his main focus was on scarcity. He didn't consider problem arising out of plenty, but his main focus was the problems arising out of scarcity. So his definition is considered as scarcity definition. And last but not the least, the definition given by Paul Samuelson. His definition is known as growth oriented definition because his focus was on present as well as on future. In his definition, he has also covered the scarce resources. So if we consider the evolution of economics, every subject, when the subject has started, that subject is a small kid. each and every subject has some evolution. Every subject step by step evolves. In the same way, economics also evolved. It evolved from social science. Adam Smith was actually student and professor of social science, and because of industrial revolution in Britain, his attention was on why these changes occurred, why so many people without land are becoming rich. So that interest, that his sense of knowing something new, he started writing a special research papers, and the subject as economics took place. Afterwards, Alfred Marshall also contributed, Lionel Robbins also contributed, Paul Samuelson also contributed, and these are just four. But there are other economists also who have contributed. For example, A.C. Pigou is there, then uh, other so many economists are also there who have contributed to the development of the discipline. Yes, our own Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen is also Nobel laureate economist from India who has contributed a lot to the study of economics also. With these definitions of economics, I was talking about the evolution of economics. Economics doesn't stop at these definitions. These definitions just give you the initial idea, they just give you the bird eye view of the economics. Afterwards, the economics was divided into two branches. One branch is known as microeconomics, and one branch is known as macroeconomics. Now, here I would like to mention one more economist, which is one of the prominent economists. His name is Professor Dr. Lord John Maynard Keynes. He also won Nobel Prize for his economic theory, and he was the person who actually gave the most of the microeconomics which we learn today. We have to thank him because when capitalism in itself was in very much trouble, when in 1929 there was the Great Depression in America, at that time people started thinking that capitalism has failed. They started believing that socialism is much better than capitalism, and at that time John Maynard Keynes presented his economics, and his concept was that free market economics is good, but government intervention also needs to be there. So far, these definitions focus on the concepts of microeconomics. Most of the concepts which they focus on choices which people have to make, choices which society has to make. But so far, none of the definitions has focused on the choices which government has to make. And John Maynard Keynes was the person who actually focused that if we want to save capitalism, if we want capitalism to run smooth, it is the government interference which helps. And ultimately, in order to end the Great Depression of 1929, the suggestions which were given by Dr. John Maynard Keynes were very much helpful, and with the help of this his ideas, with the help of his idea that government should intervene into the market when the market is in problem, when capitalism poses problem to the people, to the economy, government has to interfere. So over and above these four economists, John Maynard Keynes is also a prominent economist who has contributed a lot to the development of the subject of economics. Now, if you are studying economics as a subject, you must remember the definitions, because definitions are the crux of any of the subject, and definitions gives you an idea about what you will be studying, what constitutes that subject, what actually is the subject is made up of which different concepts, that you can know from these definitions. So I hope this lecture is very much useful to you, and you will make good use of this lecture, and it will help you in exams also. Thank you very much.
Sandhan, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.